I've made the issue of that window and I've made that aware.
Which I'm literally going to be speaking to.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. Obviously, if I were to say to come back in half an hour and I walk back and that window's open again, you're now willfully and negligently.
What started as a simple visit to a quiet summer.
What started as a quiet trip to a small town in Somerset quickly turned into something I never expected. I was just waiting by the roadside after a flat tire, nothing unusual, simply waiting for assistance. To pass the time, I decided to look around. Not far from where I stopped stood an old, burnt-out police station, clearly abandoned, a building that had seen better days. But then I noticed something odd. Several of the windows were wide open, and inside, computer screens were still on, displaying what looked like sensitive information. No security, no privacy, just sitting there in plain sight for anyone walking past. Concerned, I decided to point it out. It seemed like the right thing to do. But that simple decision set off an unexpected chain of events. Within minutes, a few officers appeared. Some were in uniform, some off duty, and a few refused to identify themselves. Instead of addressing the security issue I'd just found, they seemed far more interested in questioning me, asking why I was filming, what I was doing there, and whether I had permission to record. Suddenly, the focus had shifted from their open computers and poor security to me simply holding a camera. What followed was a tense back and forth about data protection, body cameras, and accountability. And it revealed something important. Some officers are quick to enforce the rules when it benefits them, but not always as eager to follow those same standards themselves. To be fair, one officer handled the situation professionally and with respect. But others displayed arrogance, defensiveness, and a complete disregard for proper conduct. In the end, I walked away asking myself one simple question. If some officers can't uphold the basic standards of transparency and respect, how can the public be expected to trust them with greater authority?
Not bad, how are you? That's please take some pictures out of your cars and that look. And you are, sorry? And your collar number? Your collar number, please? If I can't read, it's not your policy to identify the member of the public? No, it's not identified.
You guys just cause issues, or you just...
No, I'm just here to take pictures and that, that's all. As I said, I just noticed as I was walking down to take pictures, your colleague's window was open, I could see the screen, make them aware of it.
Okay. They sort that?
Yeah, they closed the window, fine. Yeah, so that's simple as that. You know, your colleagues not in uniform refuse to identify while engaging in a policing activity. Not fantastic, is it? It's against policy, you are required to identify. If you're engaging in a stop and account, you are required to identify. Because if I have any complaints, how am I supposed to make that complaint if you haven't kept yourself to the accountability standards that the policy requires? So, you know, again, you refuse to identify properly because, again, you don't know that I can read, so you're refusing to identify properly. Yes, you're in uniform, but again, if I want to make a complaint against you, then... Oh, is it? How come it's taking you this long to let me know and the policy not to, at the first, like, practical opportunity at that was it? So, because you come in, like, and gone hands-on with me? Exactly, so why is not the first thing you say, good afternoon, or morning, when you only... Yeah. The first most practical opportunity is to say, good, by the way, you are being recorded. Okay. Otherwise, you could be covertly recording me under the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act.
But that's not happening.
Well, it could. It took you time to alert me when there was plenty. The only situation where we're not practical at the first opportunity is going into a hands-on situation. Any other time, there's no reason, and this has been dealt with in the tribunal by the tribunal of the REPA Act. The first most practical opportunity is when you approach somebody. If you have your camera on and you turn it on, if you approach with your camera on, you can alert them when you approach, unless you're going hands on. If you turn it on while engaging in conversations, turn it on, and then once it's recording, so it's stated on the camera, by the way, you are being recorded for my safety and your safety. You have the right to do it, the same way that I have the right to do it. It's not a problem. It's a notification that's a problem. You know? Okay, you can justify that, so you're going to try to identify yourself properly yet?
I'm happy.
You're happy, yeah? Would you like to identify yourself, or would you like a complaint as well, sir?
Sir, can I ask you a question?
I'll let-
Chips in, just can I? So my name is P6.
Thank you. So that's how it's done. Thank you.
My colleague here was obviously made aware that he was just the windows open.
Yeah.
He's got concern. If data protection is that you might report something on your phone on the screen.
If there is anything, I'm not sure if there is or not. If anything is captured on there, that will be evidence for me to report that to the Information Commissioner's office, because obviously the onus of data protection is on the organisation, not on whoever sees that information. I didn't stick my head through it. I didn't stick my head through a window. I saw it from a public place.
Somebody else's information is secure site.
I understand that.
Not as secure as you'd
Well,
like
no,
it to
exactly.
be.
It's not secure at all, is it really?
No, we are trying to work on that, but unfortunately, you have to do with what you've got to do.
Yeah. Even a bit of signage saying no unauthorised access beyond this point would go a long way, because I do respect something like that.
No, okay.
But I did have a look around and there is
I would
nothing there.
genuinely take that to the simulation team.
Fantastic.
That is fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are trying to redo everything, yeah.
Okay.
Financially, we have to go through the
That's why it's
budget,
quite a small
everything.
town, isn't it? Lower
Exactly,
priority.
you know,
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We get shoved right to the bottom. So we're right in the borders, you know,
Yeah.
this and that. So it totally, I understand where you're coming from, and I'll pass it on to the simulation.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I've just got concerns about the data protection from the video.
Yeah.
Because that's somebody else's private stuff and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we obviously learn from things like that. So you've pointed out, they've closed the window, these really hot in there. We can go
Yeah, I completely understand that,
You know
but obviously
what I mean?
data protection takes priority over that, unfortunately. You can get a ban in there, and I understand, you know, I've worked in many various locations where health and safety data protection takes priority over
Is
that.
that
stuff.
is that a live?
I'm not live streaming, no.
If there is something, would you delete that?
Not necessarily delete it, but I would make it anonymous, so I would blur it out, see if there is anything that I won't post it anywhere.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's not there, for, you know what I mean?
No, of course. I've raised the issue. I've raised the issue of data protection, and obviously I raised it as an issue because I can see it as an issue.
No,
I'm not going to go share that information. That would be very hypocritical.
Absolutely.
So if there is anything captured on camera, it won't be made available to the public. It will be released to ICO.
Can I take your details?
No,
Can I
okay.
take your name?
No, I'm
Please,
right.
just your first name so I know who I'm speaking to.
No, right.
You've got my calling number, but I can't take yours.
Yeah, but as a crown servant, obviously you have issues of accountability when dealing with members of the public, and that's
I'm
why.
just being
And that's why.
polite,
Yeah, I
asking
know.
your first name.
I know. But then obviously that comes with my image. That's why I'm recording.
Yeah, obviously, we do this because I'm open honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We record things so that you can see what we do.
Yeah.
And we can
Absolutely,
see,
I
you know what
completely
mean?
agree
So
with the use of body cameras.
you can-
Completely.
The things I
Yeah.
can't hide saying, I know I didn't say this is
No, exactly the same reason why I record any interaction I have.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I don't take my back.
Of course. Of course.
We don't.
but with your collar numbers now, so you're bound. You have to identify. You did it
Yeah,
correctly
you can
verbally,
see, I
but
mean,
you can't
you've got
guarantee that I
collar
can
number
read.
there, you know what I mean?
But you have to wear that for accountability. That's why I'm entitled to have that. If you're dealing with a member of the public in a stop and account situation, accountability, you have to identify yourself for that exact reason, which he doesn't seem to understand. Sorry, we got interrupted. Would you like the opportunity to identify? Sorry. And your call number, please? 4988. There you go. Thank you. Would you like another opportunity? No, you're fine. Okay, so you're just going to be an absolute idiot about it. Well, I mean, you are. Yes, but you have a collar number for the specific reason, as we've just heard discussed, for accountability reasons. You're making a very large assumption that I have the ability to read that. My eyesight is good.
These two obviously identified.
Yeah. Okay, that's still, again, that's not your policy, so that's fine. I'll make a complaint to you. That's not a problem. Actually, I'll probably go to you tonight. Otherwise, go to the local PSC and get kicked out and get regarded. Yeah, no worries. Let's pick the place as well, so make sure that goes to the right person. No, as I said, so, you know, obviously, I've made the issue of that window and I've made that aware.
I'm literally listening.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. Obviously, if I were to say come back in half an hour and I walk back in that window and very again, you're now willfully and negligently disregarding data protection, and that's fantastic. So, you know, I've been to places where they close it because I'm there, and then I come back at like 10 to 15 minutes half hour later and they just reopen it because it comes on, and that's not the point of what I'm trying to raise. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, it's just literally police cars and that, so the local force is trying to come and have a look around really and see where the local money is going. Definitely not here apparently. Well, thank you you've been very lovely and professional. I appreciate that. So you told me you're recording, have you even been recording? You are recording. So again, same issue that I raised with him, is there a reason you haven't notified me of that? Is there? No. You told me that you're. You can say we're all recording. You told me that you're recording. That's your responsibility. His responsibility to let me know that he's recording me. It is necessary. Would you like to refer to the College of Policing guidance? Because
No, we're fine. Thank you.
no, you're fine, exactly. Because you're not interested in learning. Yeah, you're not interested in actually learning what your policies are and adhering to them, are you? You're just one of those tyrants who just want to go around and do what you want to do, ignore your policies. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not interested in talking to you. I'd rather talk to your colleagues. You're just a bit of a tyrant, and I have no interest in talking to you. Yep. If you're
I'd like to have a conversation with you.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to follow your policies on your guidance, and you have no interest in learning them, I can refer you to the guidance in which it tells you about the body worn cameras, in which it tells you about identifying yourself. But again, you have no interest in it, so what's the point in talking to you any further? But yeah, again, thank you. You've been very professional. Straight away identified yourself. Told me that you're recording a little bit later than I would have liked, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, you weren't the one directly engaged with me. I was talking to him, so I understand that. He had everything.
Like I said,
you know.
I'm going to go back to
Yeah. Again, not everybody's going to respect those signs, but at least then you've got the footing of you've been notified of trespassing before you've entered onto the site, you know. Yeah. No, of course. Like I said to your colleagues when they first came out with non-uniform, you've got a sign on that door which is clearly for public information that says, you know, if the office is closed, call 101. That's obviously for public information. And if you put that there, it's almost an expectation that the public are expected to be there. Yeah, exactly. So, no. Yeah. But okay. Yeah, and obviously I'm sure you've got CCTV around the sign saying you have and that. And obviously I'm walking around, my face is uncovered. I'm not making any efforts to hide myself. I'm not trying to be covert. You know, otherwise I wouldn't have made myself apparent to the person in the window. You know, I would have. You know, if I had nefarious intent with that information, I would have stood there and filmed it for as long as I could before I got noticed and not saying anything. That would have been, you know, my nefarious intent with it. You know.
I think it's just, point out, thank you very much. I know there's something expensive.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm hoping that you're doing like evidence things like
Again, like, if I was, I'm on your body cameras. My face is quite clear. Like, I don't think it would be difficult
but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
figure it out. Yeah. No, I fully appreciate it. Like, again, I'm not the activist, anti-police like that. You don't have to follow policy and think they're above doing what they're supposed to do. You think fantastic.
People's experiences.
Yeah, but as constables, you should approach every situation independently, really. I know, I get that, but you are held to a much higher standard because of the job role that you take on. You know, you take an oath to the crown of this country, and we expect you to live your life to that. Yeah, sure, but you know, but then we say as long as the public have police officers who want to do that to us, and it does happen. You can't deny that it does.
I'm not saying that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so we have the same thing. Yeah. Again, but I will give everybody their fair dues. Like I've given you, I've had a quiet conversation with you, and I've told you thank you for doing your job as just like to follow the policy. And I will give everybody their fair dues, and that's all we expect from the police as well. You know, we expect that situation at the end of the day. The confidence in police in this country is plummeting, and we're trying to build. We'd like to try and build a bridge rather than tear them down, but we don't want people to. You know, if he's not willing to follow simple policies, how can we expect him to follow the ones that actually are way more serious? You know, it starts with the basic level, and that's what it's like a school uniform. If you can't be comfortable in a school uniform, how do you be or wear your uniform at work? They don't expect you that. It's an indicator of you're not going to be involved in your job properly or learn properly, and that's what it's about. If you can't follow your basic policies, how on earth can we have the confidence in you to do your job when it really matters? And that's the kind of people that we don't want enough. It's people that if they can't learn something, how can we trust them to do anything more serious when they've got the powers that can demolish people's lives? Yeah. No, your powers can do great things, but they can also do very dangerous things. You know, and if they can't trust you to use them properly, that's scary. Yeah, I know you would. Probably. But yeah, no worries. Well, thank you for your time, and I appreciate your professionalism. So yeah, a little bit in place on that body worn issue. Attempted to identify properly. As I said, even if nothing actually happens at that time, so that hospital, it will go on the record that he's had that complaints, multiple complaints on the record. Yeah, I'll say that lady was professional out of 3, out of 5 actually. Came engaged. Anna. Yeah, we've got unmarked police vehicles as well. Also on background pulled up in this one. So if you look around Shard to Somerset and all that area, you've got it is an unmarked vehicle sitting there. And the way they treat other properties to be empty coffee cups and coffee cups in there. I think the window seat in the back is the usual. That's something that looks like will allow 70% light, I think it is, or DC, something like that. It does look a little bit dark. Don't know if it looks darker because the real windows are tinted. This one looks a little bit dark as well. I saw a video quite recently, the guy got pulled over for tin and he asked the cop to check the same one he did on there. And to my surprise, the cop obliged, and the tin was illegal according to his advice. So again, we can have that other device and must be faulty. Which was possibly a bit faulty. Get down. This piece was pull up as well for the new time while we were here. Not a great look. Sharp and salary overall. One professional member at the bunch. I'd like to guarantee the person when she's out for team possibly she's got to de-escalate the situation as much as possible. But it looks like the others are the ones escalating. Oh, nice. Eastward. You see those.